Hey there, third grade. This is Mr. Campbell. Today we're going to be working on page 341. This is lesson 9.2, use regrouping to add. And at the end of today, we want to be able to say we can use different strategies to regroup when adding three-digit numbers. All right. And so today, what we're going to be looking at is exactly that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick little review of what we talked about before. So, when we have a number, something like 573, all right? Remember, we've got our cubes, which when I'm drawing them on a whiteboard, I just make them dots, but these are cubes, all right? They're each worth 1. In our tens place, we've got 10 straight, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all right? But these aren't just 7, right? These are 10 of these cubes stacked up together. So this is actually 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, not just a 7. And then for my 5, these are flats, right? And each of these is worth 100. So here I've got 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. That's a terrible square. Let me fix it a little bit there. All right. So I've got my 500 here. All right. I've got 70, and I've got 3. Now, all of this is going to become important today as we're working on our regrouping, all right? Because what happens if, for example, I had a problem where it was 153 plus 262, all right? Well, in this situation right here, this means I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to erase this and give myself a little more space. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then for my flats, I've got 1 and I've got 1, 2. All right. Well, when I start adding these, I'm going to start in my ones place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then I come over to my tens place and I go, all right, what is all this? Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Uh-oh. Can I put an 11 in my 10 spot? No, I can only put one digit in every place value. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to take these 5, and then I need to take 5 more. 5 and 5 is 10. I'm going to turn that into a flat and bring it over here. Well, when I do that, how many of my straights do I have left? Well, there's only one of my straights left. And now how many flats do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So my answer would be 415. Well, that's what we're going to be going over today, but I'm not going to be drawing out as many as I just did. For the most part, we're going to just talk about numbers for today, and I'm going to keep talking about flats and straights and cubes as we're working. But really, we're just going to talk about the numbers themselves. So let's go ahead and flip over to page 342. And as we walk through here, I'm going to show you why sometimes it can just get a little bit messy, which is why when we just talk about numbers, it might help us out. We've got 139 miles plus 187 miles. All right, so that's what we want to add together. Well, up here, I've got 139. Down here, I've got 187. Well, when we add together our 9 and 7, we get 16. And so what they said is, well, let's take this group of 10, and we're going to get rid of those ones and move it over here into a group of 10. All right? What are we left with? Well, we're left with a 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that I've done that, now I say, well, how many 10s do I have? Well, I had 3, 8, and 1 more. Well, 3 and 8 is 11 plus 1 more is 12. I can't do that. And so when we come over here, we go, all right, we still have those 6 ones. But guess what? Now we can take these 10 together and turn it into a flat. So we had 1 flat and 1 flat, but now we're adding that extra one because we're getting rid of all these. Well, how many 10s do we have left? Well, we've got 1, 2 10s. And then how many flats do we have? Well, we got 1, 2, 3. So 139 plus 187 is 326. This is what it all actually means. we're regrouping and bringing them over to the next place value, which is why we keep creating these. But as we do our work together today, I'm going to encourage you to just use our numbers. So if we have 139 plus 187, all right, if this is what we've got, well, 9 plus 7, all right, I'm going to go ahead and 4, 5, 6, 7. I start with the bigger number and I count on. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Can I write 16 here? The answer is no. I can only put one number in each place value. So I'm going to erase this 1. I'm not erasing it and getting rid of it. It's actually going to move over to our next place value. And so up here we'll put a plus 1 because we moved it from here to the next place value. Well, now that I do that, I can say, okay, 8 is the biggest number here. So I'm going to draw some touch points on here. And touch points just mean whenever I touch them, I count them. So I'm going to start at the biggest number. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Can I put 12 in this place value? No, I can only put one number in each one. So I'm going to erase this 1, but it doesn't just go away. It comes over as a plus 1 in my next place value. That group of 10 tens becomes a flat. And now I've just got 3 ones. So 1, 2, 3. 326. Oh, look at that. It's the same number. So again, this is what is all going on when we say that we're regrouping. It's taking that lesser place value and creating the next one. So that's what we're going to take a look at as we work today. We're only going to be using the numbers from here on out, but that's what it really actually means. So go ahead and turn with me to page 343, all right? And on page 343, slide it down, there we go. All right, so on 343, we're going to start with number 3, all right? Now, for number 3, I'm going to just write it over here. You grab your pencil. I want you writing these down with me, okay? So I have 538. They've already given us that. And then we're going to have 429. All right, we want to add those together. Now, when I add these together, all right, sorry, trying to let you see the page number and also the problem there. All right, I start in my ones place. I always start in my ones place. Now, in the last one, you saw me doing the same thing, which was I didn't have space for touch points. When we start getting into these larger numbers, I usually don't. So I like to just draw dots over to the side. They're still touch points. They're just over on the side. So I'm going to start at 9 and keep counting. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now, can I write 17 in my ones place? No. What I need to do is I need to take this group of 10 ones and turn it into a 10 straight, which means to regroup it. Okay? Now, here's a big mistake that a lot of students make. I write plus 1 up here so that I always remember I have to also add one more. All right. When I look at 1, 3, and 2, I see that 3 is the largest number. So I'm going to put touch points on all the other ones. And I always do this. I touch this number first, whichever one is my largest number, I touch, and then I go from the top down. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, can I just write a 6 in this place value? You better believe it. Yeah, right? We can write a 6 there because there's only one digit here. I don't need to regroup over because it wasn't large enough. All right. Now I can move to my hundreds place and I can see 5 and 4. Well, I'm going to put my 4 touch points and I'm going to touch 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, do I need to regroup on that number? The answer is no, I don't. 967. The 9 was not needing to be regrouped, so I've got that there. So 967 is that number. Okay? This is what regrouping looks like when we just use the numbers. All right. It's the exact same as when we had all of those place value blocks. It's just a little different. All right. I want you to go ahead and I'm going to have you try number 4 on your own. All right. So go ahead and pause the video. Number 4 is 415 plus 198. Pause your video and solve that now. I hope you paused the video and solved number 4 on your own. We're going to go over it right now, all right? So I've got 8 plus 5 because I always start in my ones place. And one of the other things that I like to do just to help me out is I'll just draw lines like this, and this helps me keep my place values straight. I start in the ones place, then my tens place, and then my hundreds place, all right? So 5 plus 8 is my ones place. So 8, I'm going to put my 5 touch points on here. So 8, because I'm touching it right now, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Can I put 13 here? The answer is no. I've got 2 digits in this one place value. So I'm going to erase that 1, and I'm going to regroup it. I'm going to turn it into a straight now. Well, 9 is my biggest number, so I'm going to put touch points up here. And I'm going to go 9, 10, 11. Can I put 11 here? No, it's got 2 digits. I have to erase the one that is closer to the next place value. All right. And regroup it. 4 plus 1 plus 1. So 4, 5, 6. All right. Now, if I just go through, I can erase these. And what is my final answer? Well, it is 613. All right. I had to regroup multiple times in that problem. Now, I'm going to ask you to jump down with me to problem number 12. Problem number 12. All right. And for number 12, I'm actually going to get rid of my whiteboard for this one. We're going to zoom in because they did not stack mine on top of each other. What do we do now? Oh no. Right? Are you freaking out because they didn't give us the stacked on top of each other like this? Don't worry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ones place and put it underneath the ones place. I'm going to take my tens place and put it underneath my tens place. I'm going to take my hundreds place and put it underneath my hundreds place. And look at that. Now I can solve. All right. So 7 plus 8. Well, I'm going to draw my 7 touch points so that way I can count on. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Can I write 15 here? No. I've got to put my 5 here and regroup my plus 1. 3 plus nothing. 3 plus 1 more is 4. And lastly, I've got 2 plus 2. Well, that's a doubles fact, which is a 4. So my final answer is 445. It doesn't need to scare us if they are written horizontally. We can stack them on top of each other and still solve it. All right. So there you go. You've got some independent practice problems to do today. All right. I hope this is starting to make sense as we regroup. We looked earlier at what it looks like to actually regroup, to actually group those together and create the next place value. And then I showed you the other way that we can do it just by using our numbers to solve it. Now, either way is fine. If you feel more comfortable with the place value blocks, great. Run with that. But if you feel more comfortable with the numbers, also use that. It gets a little bit less messy when we just use numbers. All right, well, that's all that we've got for today, third grade. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and we will see you later. Have a good one.